needs a lady. What would I be without you?
What's up, fam? It's your girl Tiffany
and Iesha,
and we back at it again
with another
mother loving video. Cause your mama love our videos and we love her too. Okay, guys, today we're gonna be doing how to survive Iesha.
Whoa.
Anyway, how to survive in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Let's just dive straight into it. You guys ready?
I'm trying to make sure I'm comfortable because it's about to be a long ride. Before we start, for those who don't know us, we've been together for almost 6 years.
Yeah.
6 years in September. So this is why we can do this video. 6 years will count. So relationship advice from people who've been together for 6 years.
It's really 60, but we'll just say 6 to sound more appealing to the audience. I think we're gonna jump in with the big C.
Communication.
Oh.
What you gonna say?
Coochie. Zeta. Yeah, communication.
What about communication? You
Okay,
wanna
for
talk about
me,
that?
for sure. For me, I was never a big communicator in relationships in particular. I was always the type to like bottle up my emotions. Not homegirl over here, okay? If you do anything, if someone says anything, that she will let you know if that's uncomfortable for her, if she likes it. That me, I'll just kind of eat it up and go. But I feel like being in our relationship, I learned that the only way I can get my point across or to get her to understand me is to effectively communicate. Like if you don't like something within your relationship with your partner, let them know. Let them know. Don't hold it in, because that's, for me, that only kind of builds up on the inside.
Yeah.
And then you're going to end up doing something you regret. Like if you don't communicate that, you're going to keep holding in these feelings like, I don't like when she does this, or I don't like when he does this, and he doesn't understand me, or she doesn't understand me. And then those turn into something other than love, or other than what you really want it to be.
I forgot the word for it, but I definitely know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like you just get all that built up, just turns into this one big person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you kind of lose yourself in that sense. What about you?
Communication with me is very important, first of all, because if we don't have communication, it's just going to pull me away. So our communication skills in the beginning were like rocky, as Tiffany said. Like in the beginning, it was just not easy, and
we didn't know. And I felt like with each argument or each disagreement, we were just like, maybe this is not it. You're gonna have moments like that, especially if you want to be with that one person for the rest of your life. You're gonna have moments where you're like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say too much because we're gonna talk about each point, because this is very important to us as well. But you're gonna have moments where you're kind of self-doubting, like, is this worth it? Because in a relationship, let alone a long-term relationship, the most important thing is to decide if this person who will hurt you, whether they mean to or not, is worth it. Because people hurt you every fucking day, B. They do. Like,
don't go into a relationship expecting it to be
rosies,
perfect.
Exactly. Daisies and rosies and shit like that.
It's really like work. You know what I'm saying? It's fun and it's work. It's like you wanting to be successful. You want to get like a house or something. You gotta do a lot to get to that house. And then even when you in that house, you still gotta, maybe fix up the house. The house still not gonna be perfect. So it's gonna be constant work that you put in.
Exactly.
Each and every
I like
time.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just what a relationship is. I feel like a lot of people be like quick to quit a relationship because you get into like one big argument. Like relationships are not perfect. And I just want to let y'all know that. Like we are not perfect, okay? We
beat her up.
Yeah, like we, go through relationship problems and we have arguments.
Definitely.
We just don't put that on the internet. We put what we want to put on the internet. And I feel like that's okay to not put your, problems on the internet. Like keep that in-house.
So, yeah, overall, if you do not communicate, you're essentially failing at that relationship, because it is the most important thing. The reason why I believe communication is key is because even when you're upset, you still have to do it. Because when you don't, that just builds. Like I said, it's like a snowball. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's only going to be worse in that relationship instead of good. Even when you're down, you communicate. Even if you're pissed, just be like, I fucking hate you. I'm not available to talk right now. Let them know. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Phrases that you can use when you're unable to communicate.
I'm not available to talk right now. I'm about to walk away, you know, instead of just walking away, because that can be rude. But like letting her know what you're not able to do right now is very important, because if you just do it, it will make the other person even angrier. I'm going to stop talking now or something. I'm just going to listen to you, but I'm unable to communicate with you right now.
Don't say all of them. I need to say something too. She going ahead and I was going to say that. Say that. Okay, for me, I'll say I'm unable to talk to you right now. I am very upset. I'm incapable of loving you right now. That is so powerful, because when we get upset in our relationships, it becomes to the point where it's just like, man, f this person. Like, I don't want to be around them. Because of us being humans and having so much emotions, sometimes it's hard to like love that person when you're so upset, because you're so upset. You don't just drop your feelings to make them feel better. You got to make sure you're okay. And the way to do that is to communicate that you're not okay right now and to give you that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, rule number 1, communication.
Yeah. And don't get us wrong, we still working on our
communication.
It's still not perfect. Yeah, we give you guys this advice,
rusty,
but I can just say we came a long way from when we first met 6 years later. Like, we're way better, and we're still learning, and we're still working on it. The next one is honesty.
It's a I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead, you start.
First of all, it's best to tell your partner like the truth the entire time. Anytime you feel like you gotta lie to your partner, that's not gonna work.
That's a big red flag right there.
And I know a lot of people don't like telling their partner the truth, especially if they're super sensitive. Well, not really super sensitive, but like they take things to heart like really bad, and it make them overthink basically.
Yeah, so it's like sugar coating.
Yeah.
She's a very honest person, and I think that was because of her environment. That's why it's so easy for her to be like, well, baby, I don't really like that. I'll cry about it if she doesn't like something about me. But if it's something about her that I won't straight up say I don't like it, I'll be like, you know, try something else. And I'm learning to be as straightforward as she is.
Yeah. Something about being straightforward. Sometimes you just can't go in with the punches. With Tiffany, I really gotta, you know, talk calm to her. I can't really, you know, be super angry. I feel like that's for everybody too, because probably if she was that way to me, I would feel some type of way. So that's something I'm still working on also, is, you know, even though I'm being blunt with her, I'm still doing it like settled and not so aggressive.
Iesha made a really good point that I just wanted to like jump in before you like get off topic. Basically, everything I feel like you said with honesty falls into and under knowing your partner and yourself. Like, you're being straight, you're being honest within yourself, and you're being honest with your partner. Like, Iesha understands that this is a part of me. Like, I am kind of like a sugar coater. And like the way I would like for, like, you know, for feedback to come to me is a little bit sweeter than sour. I love that she understands that about me. I'm learning for her is I can go in with the punches. Not all the time, but like when it matters, like her business and stuff like that. Don't sugarcoat it, because that's like real life stuff. So like being honest with your partner is not just with them. It's also within yourself, in order for that relationship to kind of basically see the world. You know, have longevity. Yeah,
you know, I just thought about, now that I think about it, you saying like you're the sugar-coated type, like you don't want to go in hard, and I'm more so, you know, going in hard. We do things that we do things to others that we want done to us, I believe. Because now that I think about it, I'm more of, you know, I want you to be straightforward, go in hard, let me know. And that's the type of person I am. And she's more like, you know, the song, be gentle with me.
Kiss me.
Yeah, so, yeah, I just thought about that, like, switching it, basically. Like, I be soft and gentle and, like, going in real smooth, and you like,
that's ugly. So, honesty and understanding your partner kind of falls in hand.
Definitely. Understanding your partner. Pay attention to them. Okay? That's very important.
And the little things matter, you guys. Like, your partner will love you a lot, because it's just me. Homegirl love. Okay. Our next category is welcome all types of feedback. excuse me, earlier, you guys, remember how we talked about honesty and how just like being straight up with your partner is very important, because that way you're not like cheating them or yourself. Because like Iesha said, that's the same as like keeping everything to you, which goes back to communication, because if you keep all that within yourself, it's only going to bring misery, and it's only going to show in the relationship because you have constant bickering. You're not communicating, you're not being honest. Oh, you like that?
I like that.
That's a nice little face. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, welcome all types of feedbacks. And for me, that means in the relationship, you have to just say it. I feel like that kind of ties in. Yeah.
Like, it ties into both, right?
Yeah.
Don't, like, hold it in, basically. Just let them know. If you feel some type of way about something, believe your feelings, believe your emotions. Like, if your partner makes you feel angry about something, don't be afraid to let them know, like, hey, this made me feel some type of way, and I think that maybe you could say it in a better way or something like that. Like, don't be afraid to let them know how you feel. And if that partner, belittles your feelings, then
red flag.
Yeah, definitely a red flag. Don't let them make you feel small because of the way you feel.
And if that's your partner and they're making you feel small and you're letting them know, and they kind of flip that switch back on you, like, well, you make me feel like I'm doing something wrong because I'm making you feel like you're doing something wrong. No, nobody, they're not understanding what you're saying.
Yeah,
and that's
they're avoiding your feelings and putting their feelings before.
That's where you kind of take a step back.
Yeah.
And to kind of add on to what I was saying, to kind of piggyback, I want to give you guys a little example on how you can give feedbacks and inappropriate and appropriate ways of giving feedbacks. For instance, an appropriate way of giving a feedback would be you're in the house or you're at a party or something, and something happens with your partner. Don't wait till you get home. And I say that because when you get home, that you're thinking, the mind is a tricky and beautiful place to be, but it can really mess you up, okay? Tap them, pull them aside, like, hey baby, I want to talk to you right quick. Have that one-on-one. The people you're at that party, they don't know you like your significant other do. So if you want to take that moment to step off, that is very important. Which is an appropriate way of dealing with an issue that you had right then and there instead of waiting. So you kind of pull them aside, you're like, hey baby. What I would typically say would be, I didn't really like the way you said what you said earlier. And then the conversation should flow from there. What do you mean? What did I say? Da 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 da. An inappropriate way would be whether you're alone or together and you're just straight up like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, why would you just look at him or her like that? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what? I'm confused, and
just going straight to assumptions.
Exactly.
And don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, if you feel like your partner is, looking at somebody else, it's like, not really looking at somebody else. What's another thing?
Maybe if they're a little flirty.
Yeah, flirty. Maybe I feel like, were you flirting with this person? Because I feel like when you did this, and this, it made me feel like, you were flirting. And then it will go on from there.
One or two response.
Why would you think I was flirting with her? Like, why?
Versus,
not at all.
like it's important how you respond just as much as how she answers or he answers that question.
Exactly.
Like, you don't want to go all,
like, straight up
Exactly.
when they coming to you.
But if you do, you have to calm yourself down right away. Because, like I said, that's only going to make it worse for you, let alone them, And to kind of go back to what I said, like, just take your time. Like, really think as you're having these conversations. Don't just spew stuff out.
And I also want to say, one thing I realized that people did, especially at my younger age, made it seem like being insecure was just like this worst thing. Like, nobody ever should be insecure. You should always be confident, loving yourself 100%, and you should never feel some type of way about somebody else, da da da. That's BS. Everybody has insecurities, okay?
Yep.
Like, I don't care if they're small or big. We all have them. It's the way you deal with them is the problem. Like,
it's how you communicate with your significant other and these insecurities.
Right. Don't just go, acting crazy and, go through your person's phone or da-da-da-da. Like, that's when communication come in. Let them know, you feel some type of way. And it's okay to tell your partner, like, I felt insecure about this, or you know, just talking to them. And a real true partner will be understanding of that. They won't make you feel small again about that. Like
one or two ways. They gonna
Exactly.
understand, or they just gonna be like, you're crazy.
Yeah, like they're not gonna belittle you
Red flag.
for having normal feelings. Okay.
I think that ties up welcome all types of feedbacks as well as insecurity. We kind of threw it in there. Yeah, which was as important as communication. So our next two topics, our final topics, is don't be too serious and moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start with don't be too serious. Don't be too serious in your relationship.
Self-explanatory.
Exactly. And by that I mean, when it comes to like you guys having an argument or something, if it didn't work right then and there, give it time. Don't be like, well, she's still mad at me or he's still mad at me. I need to, like, you know, figure out how I'm going to fix this. Like, if they need that space and you need that space, take it and appreciate it. Okay? Because as long as you and they know that at the end of the day, this is home and this is where you want to be, that's that.
Yeah.
As well as have fun. It's a relationship. You meet somebody outside of your family, outside of your body that shares similar shit. Even if you don't like the same shit, because we are polar opposite when it comes to stuff. She's more of a salt, I'm more of a sweet. She's like hot, I'm like cold. Well, she's cold, I'm hot, because I like when she's sweet. It's really not. Anyways, yeah, and just remember that like this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. So how are you going to continue to be fun? You know how like you first get into a relationship? Oh, this is what I'm headed with this. Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Don't forget it.
Yeah, don't forget it. You know how you first get into a relationship? It's all hot. It's all spicy. It's all like, ew, this is new. She taking me here. He taking me here. This is so cute. And then you couple of years in, it's like, oh, I don't want to go out. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. You don't do the things you do often. Girl or boy, if y'all sit down and be like, come on, what you trying to do?
Like, keep the relationship alive.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think that's what you're saying. Basically, like the things you did in the beginning, don't let that die off. Exactly. Yeah, it's not gonna be, you know, as exciting, but you can make it back exciting.
Exactly.
Like, don't get so content and comfortable in a relationship and you feel like, you know, you don't have to do the things you did when you first met each other. Like, honestly, when me and Tiffany out, we still pretend like
we just met up. Yeah, we be meeting them at the bar. Like, you like, come here often.
Like it's our first date. Like we do like fun things like that, just because it's fun and it just feels, you know, refreshing. Sure. Especially like being in a relationship so long.
And we got a kid, so having a break from homeboy be feeling nice.
So fast. Yeah, just keep the relationship alive and fun and just have fun together. Enjoy each other's companies. Get off the cell phone.
Talk about
God, that's such a big thing.
She sound like somebody's grandmother. She about to get into it. We not about to get into it, grandma. And she dead serious. We be out at like places and we see other couples on the phone. We'll be like, you see him?
No, not really judging them, but it's just like you can tell the couples
they don't
love each other. Like my number one rule, well, I feel like both of our number one rule when we're on dates, no cell phones.
Okay, our last topic is moving forward.
Moving forward.
This is something we created.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like other people probably have it. But within our relationship, this definitely helps us tremendously. Okay? I'll let you elaborate.
So after a really big, big, like,
I'm a killer.
Snap her neck.
Whoa. I mean, I did say I'm a killer, but snap her neck, that sounds like a little, you know?
So after we have any type of argument or back and forth disagreement, whatever, we calm down, you know, after having that space apart, if we need it. We come back together and we're like, okay.
We talk, you know, we talk a little, then
we say, moving forward, what can we do, or what can change, or how can we avoid this, or try to avoid this
in the near future.
Yeah, in the near future.
Yeah,
that's a part of communication too.
Exactly. But the reason why I wanted to keep this one last in particular, my love, is because I feel like it's so powerful for us. And I love it so much because we kind of hold each other accountable For instance, if we like got into it and one of us did the same thing, we'll bring that up. And it's like, you can't get around it. You can't like make an excuse to like be like, well, I did that. No, we spoke about this before and it's still there. What can we do? Well, we'll both sit there and think of like another way to like move forward or move past it. But the reason why I think we don't say move past is because it's like, we don't want to just be like, oh, we argued, then what?
Yeah.
It's more so moving forward, because it's like, we argued, we talked, moving forward, how can we be better? Like,
right. It's like a overall summary of what we talked about. It's like making sure, first of all, we heard each other, we understood each other, and then now what's next? Like how moving forward, what can change and what we can do next. Girl, you made me forget what I was trying to say. Hey, all in my face.
If you seen your face, you'd be all in it too.
I think that was the last thing.
Yes.
Oh, before we go, we have a comment from a very special supporter. Well, all of our supporters are
Jazzy.
Yeah.
Jazzy Williams.
We always ask you guys to, give us not advice, but give us
kind of feedback on what you would expect from us, and like types of videos you'd like.
Yeah, and most of you still do it, and shout out to y'all, because we're doing YouTube because of y'all. We want to give content that you guys want. So any suggestions you all have, we take into consideration and we do it. We try our best. Sometimes we might not get to all of them, but we'll still try. So basically she said, can y'all do a vlog, get ready with me, but we're just going to do this sit down video because it was already planned, but we're going to address her question. And she wanted us to talk about the not so good times and how we both prevail in the relationship and find ways to make it work, because she knows, no relationship is perfect.
Exactly.
Basically, I feel like we already answered the question throughout this video.
And literally everything in this video is how we kind of do.
How we prevail and like get past the not so good times.
So communication, very important.
Communication. Being straightforward with
honesty,
each other. Honesty.
Not giving up.
Not giving up on each other.
Like Iesha said, a relationship is like building a house. You're constantly going to keep working at it.
Yeah.
Even if you feel like you got it, because as human beings, we change. So as I'm changing, I want to effectively let her know. Like, because your taste and shit like that will change in your relationship. Girl, yes.
That's why I feel like we need to do a part 2 too.
And we will.
Yeah.
And we will.
So basically, we plan on doing a part 2 because I know we didn't cover everything in this video. So we would like for you guys to ask questions in the comments. Hit us up on social media. And we will also be making a post like asking you all to ask us questions for our part 2, because there's so much more to cover.
Definitely. Oh, we didn't finish.
Okay.
Oh yeah. We also said like don't be too serious in a relationship. Like always kind of keep it alive by doing things that you and your partner are comfortable with and are willing to do together. Like skydive.
Yeah, have fun.
Do that. Exactly. Do that. And like overall for us, it's our moving forward conversations when we do have those rough moments where it's like, you know.
Like we said, we have rough moments. Because I feel like a lot of... my sweet, sweet baby. A lot of people, like, even people we know personally, like, see our relationship as, perfect. I feel like that's because we also don't put other people in our business. And that's another thing.
Yeah.
Try to keep your business within yourself. I'm not saying, like, make it seem like your relationship is perfect, because we know our relationship is not perfect. But you don't want everybody to know, like, all of your business. Like, don't argue in front of people, and just know boundaries and know your limits.
Exactly. And basically whoever it is you do want to tell your personal business with, other than your significant other, make sure it's somebody that you can literally trust with your life.
Yeah. You
don't want to just sit there and tell everybody everything, because not everybody's for you. And I know you might be the one to be there for everybody. The sad and the truth is that not everybody is that way. So eventually you'll learn. Some of you, like myself, eventually learn that like some people aren't who they say they are. And like you might just be the most loving person, but just be aware of yourself and who it is you would like to trust with such like important information, because that's what that is at the end of the day. You're not only exposing yourself and being completely naked with that person about you, but you're doing the same for your significant other. And you got to think about them in turn, because you're no longer just living your life for you. you're planning to make a family, you're planning to basically be on equal standings with each other, always.
Yeah.
I know, I talk beautiful, don't I?
She be rambling too. She be talking about me rambling. If you guys want a part 2, make sure you comment questions and look out for our next video on Thursday. And we're on the road to 10K, so make sure you share with your family and friends because we're getting so close. This gang of family is getting bigger.
We like them.
The family,
you know, we like big families because we come from a big family.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you guys go like
and comment
and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to leave comments with questions, okay?
Time for her, baby girl, you're worth it. 2 time for me, baby, you deserve it. And I'ma give it all to you cause you've been working. And I'ma dedicate to you because you're perfect. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.